Our first watermelon from the garden this year. This happened to be a volunteer watermelon plant that came up. You can see check the stem and it's all dried up, and it sounds a little hollow when you tap on it. So it looks like it'll be pretty good. Wait a little bit here and we'll get it cold, and then we'll cut it open and see what it looks like and tastes like. Well, here's the garden. I come out here and I looked, and there was a watermelon right down here that was growing, and the vine had died up to the watermelon. So I thought I'd come out and check the rest of them, see if any of them are ready. Now, this is a volunteer watermelon, and it looks like it's starting to turn brown up to it, so that's probably ready. I want to look at this one. This one's still green, so that one's got time to grow yet. This one here, still green. That's a big one there. Now let's check these two. This one's dry, so that one will be ready. This one can keep going, so I'll pick this one. And now let's come over here. So we had some of the bigger ones over here. We've got one hiding. The tomato plant kind of got too big and fell over. So let's take a look at this one down here. And this one is ready as well. So I have to pull that one out. So I got a few of them. They're starting to get ready. We're going to be having lots of watermelon here pretty soon here. And we've got a whole bunch of plants in here. This ended up being some watermelon seeds I had thrown out there, got tilled in, and they all started growing. So I just kind of let it go. Let's go around here and check some of these other ones. This one shouldn't be ready yet, but let's see if we can. No, it's not ready yet. Oh, looks like we have a cantaloupe here that's ready. I'll have to pick that one. Another one over there that probably pretty close to being ready. Now here's another big watermelon. It's not ready yet, but you can look at the size of my hand. We've got another smaller one hiding back up in here. A couple other small ones, they'll grow up a little bit. This one here still got growing on it. Let's check these great big ones here. That one's not ready. That one's not ready. And if we look at it, I've got my hand on here and there. That's twice my hands. So that's probably about 14 inches long. This one here, down in here, I can see that it's still green and growing. Trying to find a place to step is not always easy, but we have this one here. Let's see, where's the stem? Stem down here. That one's still green, so that's still growing. And let's check some of these really big ones down here. See how they're doing. That one's still growing. And I'll have to look at these here. Check the watermelon. That one's still growing. Find the end of this one. That one looks like it's still growing. And let's check this one last one over here. So don't have all the grass pulled up from around it. And that one is still growing. And one more last one here. And that one you can see is still growing. So I'll pick the ones that are ready. I do have one more to check down here. Another volunteer that came up, and I just let the watermelons grow. And let's see how this one's doing. And this one is dried up as well. So we'll pick that one. So let's pick those. We'll get them in the house, start getting them cold, and we're going to start having some watermelon. I kind of checking over the tomatoes. They just kind of got so big the cages fell over, but we have lots of tomatoes. And if you look back some other videos, we've started making powder out of them because we got so many made up in soup and juices and sauces, and that way it takes up a little bit less room. I was only going to have a couple of tomato plants, but a friend of ours brought down a whole bunch of tomato plants, and I couldn't just let them die. I had to plant them. So, but you can see right over here is the sweet potato patch right in here. So that'll be digging up here pretty soon. Probably another month or so, just for the first frost, we'll start digging them. But that's our garden for now. We'll come back and when I get ready to cut open some of those watermelon. Here's what I pulled out of the garden today in watermelon. These happen to all be volunteer watermelon plants. And our biggest one right back here weighed in at 17.2 pounds. Our next one right here weighed in at 15.4 pounds. And then our next one, which was this one, weighed in at 14.6. And then the next smaller one weighed in at 10.2. And the little bitty baby one weighed in at 6.2 pounds. So that's quite a bit already for just volunteer watermelons. Still got the ones we've planted on purpose to dig up yet, and those are going to be even bigger yet.